Are you feeling frisky? So am I. But keep your hand off my knee. Because I'm Torko and we have got a workout for you. This is going to leave your sides in totally split, your head in a spin, in the blue underground where the sake's hot and the sushi's fresh, and the video game seems to make no sense. This is Fall Guys. But first, we're actually going to do a tier list, ranking some Fall Guys levels. Because, soon I'll be going on holiday for a bit. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going on holiday and I'll be back on Friday with some repo. But first we're going to do a little bit of tier listing. So here we go. But why is it not working? There we go. So we're going to be ranking all the Fall Guys levels of seasons past. So we have 5 tiers like always. We have the Bomb, which is the highest tier. These are levels that I love and are generally my personal favourites. We have Pretty Sweet, which are ones that are not as good as the best ones, but still ones that I definitely enjoy. We have It's Alright, which are ones that are just completely okay. I enjoy playing them, and there's not really to them. They just pass the time. That Was Good. Psych. These are the ones that are not very good, and I can tolerate them, but I don't like them that much. They just don't really do it for me. And finally we have I'm Out, which is the very bottom, where they just make me want to rage quit and I'll just leave and stuff. So first up we have Airtime. And this one is definitely a personal favourite of mine. I'm going to put it in Pretty Sweet. So this one is a points level. You've got to stay within the golden area to get to 100 things before everyone else gets qualified. You can do the easy way, which is to go to the side with the fan and the tilting thing, or you can do the harder way, which is to go to the stupid laptop's giving me updates, isn't it? Yeah, the virus. I don't care. But yeah, there's an easy way and a hard way to do it, and I like to do the easy way. So yeah, I generally think that level's pretty sweet. Next up we have Basketball, which is a team level, and I've only played it a few times, and it's alright. It really depends if you have a good team or not, because the team can either make or break your chances of winning. So that one's entirely depending on how good your team is. Next up we have Bean Hill Zone. This is a points level, which is part of the Sonic collab which happened, which unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. And this one, as far as point levels go, I've never played it, but from what I can see, I will say it's pretty sweet. It's very reminiscent of another one we'll get to later. And I wish I could have tried it, but I'm just going off of what I've seen for this one. Now we have Big Shots, and this one can be a bit tricky because of the griefers that you might encounter. Because griefers can be annoying because they'll grief you into the path of these projectiles that you'll see flying towards you, whether it be like a magnet, a controller, or other things. So I'm going to say, if the griefers don't grief you that much, then it's pretty sweet. But because it can be look at the draw, I'm going to put it in It's Alright. Up next is Blast Ball. Blast Ball was the first game I ever won when I ever played the game. And this one can be a bit annoying with griefing again. But when you don't get griefed and have the people make you throw the ball away, which will end up making you lose, it can be quite good. But if people play unfair, and the thing is in this one, the way you lose is not just getting blown off the side, because the platforms will fall away as well, so you've got to watch your step. I'm going to say this one is pretty sweet too. Up next we have Blastlantis. And this one, you know what, no, I'm going to downgrade to It's Alright, because Blastlantis is definitely better. Because in this one you have, once again you have blast balls you've got to watch out for, But there's also the tentacles, which you'll see in another level we'll get to. And these ones can fling you away. But as the time gets closer to 0, the tide will start to come in. And if you touch the water as the time starts to come up, then you're going to get eliminated. So that one is definitely a bit more trickier than Blast Ball. But no, I think Blast Ball's trickier. So they're both pretty good, but I think, personally, Blast Atlantis is better. The next one is Block Party. And this one was one of the ones I played when I first got into the game, and this one is actually fairly straightforward. You've got to dodge the blocks, watch out for the booby traps that might come along, because there might be an area where there's going to be, it looks like you can go there, but it ends up being a dead end, so you're going to get pushed off the map to your death. I think it's alright. But unfortunately they got rid of it for a while because of a super jump, which made people able to get around it really easily, which is not really that good. The next one is, if I remember the name, Bounce Party. And this one is another points level. I think it's alright. It's very straightforward, really hard to lose on unless you're not that good with bouncing. You've got to do a lot of jumping to get through the rings, or the hoops. And there's golden hoops and there's blue hoops. You want to get the golden ones. But blue can help you get through the finals regardless, if it's blue or gold. The next one is Bubble Trouble. And this one is one I never played when I first got into the game, but they ended up bringing back into a different round pool. And when it came back for a different round pool, it was pretty easy to win, but the problem is the bubbles will disappear eventually, and then you've got to move to another side of the map where there's more. So it really just keeps you on your toes. I think it's pretty sweet, that one. The next one is Button Bashers. And Button Bashers, it really depends on who you're facing off against. If you're facing off against someone really sweaty, then your chances of winning are really, really slim to none. But if you're facing off against someone who's below you, then your chances of winning are raised exponentially. Sometimes they'll end up rage quitting because you know that they're going to lose. So because of that, I'm going to put them into It's Alright. Because it really depends on the look of the draw. The next one is Cosmic Highway. And this one is our first entry into the Bomb. This one is a lot of fun because it's a straightforward race to the finish. And more than one person can qualify, so it's not a final. Though we will be getting to a final. We've already had a final in the form of Blast Ball. But as far as levels go, it's a lot of fun. And honestly, if you don't get griefed, which has not really happened to me, and you manage to not fall off the platforms, then you've got a good chance of a win. The next one, I believe, was this Hit Parade? No, it wasn't. It was... Oh, what's the name of this one? I know it. These were a C or a D. Oh, I don't remember the name of it, but it's basically you're running the middle obstacle course. You've got to jump over rotating arms. You've got those rotating things. You have balls being shot at you. I'm just gonna quickly see what the name of it was. 1 second. What was it? If I can find it, I'll find the name of it. It was called... If you give me 1 second, please. So it's not Hit Parade. Here it is. No, that's Hit Parade. What is it called again? I forget the name of it. Does anyone know what the name of it was? Dizzy Heights. That's the name of it. Dizzy Heights is my next entry into the Bomb because it's one of my personal favourite levels. Because it brings back so many memories. Next up we have DoorDash. Now this one brings me back memories too, because this reminds me a lot of Takeshi's Castle because of what's it called? It's like the level Knock Knock, and the one-person level, which is more akin to the one where there's multiple people, because some of the doors are fake and some of them are real. And I'm putting it in pretty sweet, because it's not quite my favourite level, because they're having times when everyone bunches up like a bunch of grapes and you don't end up making it to the end. So it's getting quite look at the draw. Now we're on to the polar opposite. We have Egg Scramble and Egg Siege. Go fuck yourself. I'm out. These ones are annoying because in these ones you have to play either the defender or the attacker. And if you don't have any defenders on your team, then all your eggs are going to get stolen by the other people who are trying to attack, and the chances of winning become pretty much down the toilet. So unless you have a good defense, the chances of you winning are pretty much gone. So no, I don't like those ones. And it has resulted in a lot of rage quits too. The next one is Fall Ball, and this will be our first entry into That Was Good Psych, because it's just unforgettable. It's just unmemorable for me. It's basically football. Again, if you don't have people playing good defense to defend the goal, it's not as frustrating as the egg ones, but it's still pretty frustrating if your team doesn't pull together and defend the other things. So that's why that one's going right there into C tier. Our next one is the OG finale, Fall Mountain, and this one I'm going to put into pretty sweet. Hey Azul! Yeah, I guess I'll leave my last stream for a bit because I'm going to London tomorrow. I won't be back till Friday. But like I said, the next one, so this one is the original. It's basically dodge the balls coming your way, get to the top as quickly as you can, watch out for the flippers, and if you can get to the top and not get griefed, and grab the crown.
Congratulations!
Exactly, you're the winner. It took me about like 80 odd tries to get the crown, but I did it in the end, and that was a really rewarding moment. Now we have Frantic Factory, very similar to Button Bashers, but this one I think is pretty sweet compared to Button Bashers, because this one there's a lot more to it because you have more people, and there's the buttons are, there's more than one button of course, and it keeps you on your toes a bit more than the other one, because in this one the buttons are either on a conveyor belt, moving around on those robot things, or they're in the zero gravity areas. So that one is a little bit more creative than the other. Instead of a PvP, it's multiple people versus each other. As I open a can of Orange Tango. After Frantic Factory, we have Freezy Peak. Now this one's alright. Now personally, Freezy Peak, it's very reminiscent of levels like Dizzy Heights, and another one we'll get to in a minute. But this one is, it's really nice because of the, oh wow, that's amazing. But this one is a little bit, I like the creative music to it, and it does remind me of a final I'll get to in a bit. But is it the best? Not really. I don't like it as much as some of the other ones that we've had. Because there's another one which is a little bit better, I think. The next one is Fruit Shoot. And back in the day, I would probably put this one in, that was good psych. But now, I have a newfound respect for it, because if you know how to get the good tactic, which is to jump to the side where the pink bouncy things are, which is you're less likely to get hit by those fruit coming your way. Sometimes it might be like balls and eggs and that. Then you have a good chance of winning. So I think this one is alright. The next one is Full Tilt. Full Tilt is, I think Full Tilt is a pretty good level. If you play in extreme mode, then it can be really frustrating, because in this level you can definitely get griefed. And the griefers is what makes these levels extremely frustrating. So again, I'm torn on this one. I'm probably going to put it into Pretty Sweet. Because it's very straightforward. As long as you don't get griefed and fall off and have to respawn, then you have a good chance of a win. Next we have Gatecrash. And Gatecrash, this one I used to have a love-hate relationship with. Because in this one, you've really got to get your timing down when it comes to the end, and when it comes to some of the gates. There's one area where two gates don't move and the other two do, so you've got to get your timing down right if you want to get through. So, because it's all in the timing, I'm going to say this one is also alright. We have 3 back-to-back finals now. We have Hexagon, Hexaring, and Hexaterrestrial. Hexagon is definitely going into the bomb. This is one of my personal favourites. The trick on there's a few tactics you can use. You can either go slow and steady and jump methodically from hexagon to hexagon, or you can be an arsehole and fall to like the bottom level or the second to last level and take out all the ones in the middle and then just go around the ring and watch people fall to their death. Which I think is a pretty rude tactic, but it has worked for me in the past. Hexaring is a bit trickier. Because this one is a rotating ring, and sometimes you've got to make a big leap of faith to get across. Either you make it across, or you fall in the drink. And if you fall too far back, then you're going to fall down and lose. So this one, I also think, is the bomb. As for Hexaterrestrial, this one's different, because the hexagons actually respawn. But the walls close in, and the hexagon arena gets smaller. So it's all about survival of the fittest this time when it comes to the end. Because sometimes it'll be a 1v1, and the people are so sweaty that it takes ages for the time to run out. So either you lose or you'll end in a draw. So I'm going to say this is pretty sweet. Not quite as good as the other ones, but I like it. The next one is Hit Parade. And this one, I used to always, at the start, I used to always run across the little beams, when the quicker way is to actually slide down the bottom and then run up the hill along the sides. But you've got to watch out for those wrecking balls near the end, because they can knock you off, and if you get knocked off, then the chances of winning are probably a loss. So, again, it's alright, this one. Now special to write home about. Next, we have Hoarders, and this is another one where if your team isn't that good, they can really let you down. I haven't really played this one that much, but it's unbearable. But it's not terrible, but I'm going to put it in, that was good, psych. I think if you have a good team, you have a good chance of winning, because it's whoever has the most balls in the most area gets through. The person with the least balls is the loser. Well, the team with the least balls. Because there's 3 teams, red, yellow and blue. The top 2 qualify. The last person is eliminated. Yes, balls and all. Now on to Hoop ones. We have Hoop Shoot, Hoopsie Daisy, and Hoopsie Legends. Hoopsie Daisy is what I'll get to after Hoop Shoot. So Hoop Shoot was one that wasn't in the game when I first got into the game, and quite honestly, it's very reminiscent of Speed Slider, which I'll get to later. And I think this is quite fun. Though you do have to be quite skilled if you want to get all the get as many hoops to qualify, because there's a quick path and there's a slow path. And if you don't get the right one, then you're out. So I'm gonna put this in. It's all right. Hoopsie Daisy, that was good. Psych. Honestly, there was a time when Hoopsie Daisy, ow, I just hit my elbow. Now Hoopsie Daisy was there was a time when it was actually a PvP one, and it was actually really hard because you've got to get enough rings to qualify in the PvP one, and if you don't get enough, you're out. in the team version, again, like Hoarders, the team with the most, the 2 teams with the most rings will qualify. So if you don't have enough rings, you're out. Hoopsie Legends. This one is a lot of fun. I'm torn between Pretty Sweet and The Bomb. The problem with this one is that there are times where you think you've made it through the golden ring, which everyone goes for, and then you end up missing because someone else gets it, or you just bounce right off. It's quite tricky, but I think it's pretty sweet. Hoverboard Heroes. There was a whole event about this level. In this one, it's a survival level, and the person who gets to the end without dying is the winner. Though there was a time where they had flippers at the end, and the trick with the flippers is you've got to stand in front of them, not like dead in front of them, but just a few paces, like there's a gap between you and the flipper, so it gives you enough momentum to get flinged across and not falling a drink. Though they've now made it to mostly the fan version, we got to get blown across, but watch out. This level can be a pain for griefers as well, as is the next one, Hyperdrive Heroes. Personally, I think both are pretty good, but Hyperdrive Heroes is way more frustrating for griefers, so I think this is really hard. On a good day, I think this is pretty sweet, and this one is alright because of how frustratingly hard it is, especially with those boom blasters that shoot the geysers in the air. Jinx. Have a nice seat there in I'm Out. Jinx is a frustrating team game. So there's 2 teams. Some people are jinxed, and the trick is you've got to jinx the people who are unjinxed, and once one team is jinxed, once the entire team is jinxed, the jinxed team loses. The unjinxed team will win. It can be a final, but it can also just be a regular level. And I honestly do not like it at all. And the next 2 are Jump Club and Jump Showdown. Both very similar. Jump Club has 3 variants, or 4. Well, there's 3 sweeper arms. You can either get a sweeper arm with 1 sweeper arm on the bomb, you have 2 sweeper arms, or 3, and then of course there's the double pink one at the top. You also get variants of this level where there's cannons shooting through at you. And again, griefers can be a nightmare on this, so you gotta watch your step and watch for the griefing to not get knocked in. Jump Showdown has 2 variants. Either you have the regular version where it's just the 2 sweeper arms, or you have the unfair version where there's a fan that goes around the opposite way, which will blow you in if you don't run past it. So I'm putting this in pretty sweet, because it really depends if you get the unfair version or not, and this one is definitely the bomb. Night Fever. This one's alright. Again, it's another obstacle course one. You've got to watch out for these, you've got to watch out for those rotating things there. There are also axes, and there's a jump across near the end. It's a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, you've got it. Crack and Slam. I think this one is pretty sweet as well. With this, your main problem are going to be the griefers who try to push you in or make you fall in mid-jump. And there's the platforms. When the platforms are green turn to yellow and then red, once after red they fall, and then cracking arms will come out, and you've got a time to jump, to either jump out of the way or not get thrown into the drink. And there's also the big cracking arm which will pull the platforms over, and if you don't figure out how to survive that, then you're gonna lose. Leading Light. This one is also a one that I think is very sweet. It's pretty straightforward. It's not so much griefing that's the problem this time. it's all about following the light. It's like this one episode of Mr. Bean. I always compare it to the animated Mr. Bean, because there was an episode where he was trying to chase a ray of sunshine, but every time he got into it, it kept moving on. And in the end, he had to board a cruise. And when the light moves away, he told the captain to go to port and starboard. And it was a pretty memorable episode. Next, we have Lily Leapers. Another pretty sweet level, this one. The ending can be... There's an easy way to do the ending and there's a hard way. But the hard way depends on if it's there or not. Because there's one version where there's some lilies which are facing an angle. So you've got to do a bit of trick shotting to get across. Or you can do the easy way and go to the sides and bounce up to get to the end. But sometimes they won't be the angled ones. It'll just be ones that are sitting upright. But there's also a version where there's angled ones and angled fans. So that one can be quite the experience, I think. Thank you for the head pass. The next one is Lost Temple. This one is one I've definitely gone up into the bomb. This is a personal favourite final of mine. It is luck based though, so you've got to find the right path to get to the end. And then we get to the end, you've got to bounce on the lily pad, dive to the next lily pad, and then grab the crown. Very similar to Fall Mountain. And again, the crown moves. So you've got, except this time the crown doesn't go up and down, it goes left and right. So you've got to get on the right lily pad to get that crown. And once, even if it was off stream unfortunately, but I should have had it on video, I once found all the correct doors with no mistakes and got the crown. People would swear I was hacking because of how lucky I was. It was unreal. Next up we have Party Promenade. And this one, they did get rid of this at one point, but they brought it back. And I think this one's alright. It's a bit unmemorable for me, but it can be quite fun when I do get to play it. The next one is Penguin Pool Party and its sister level, Penguin Pursuit. These ones are either a team level or a solo player's level. Well, this one is a solo or team, and this one's just team. So for this one, you've got to hold on to a penguin for as long as you can, and if you get to the 25 seconds with the penguin, then you qualify. But for a team one, you've got to hold it for as long as you can, and the person with the longest time will qualify and win. So for this, I think this is tough, because they're both pretty much the same, but one of them is a bit more memorable because you get to play it a lot more. So I think, pretty sweet for that. It's alright for that. Perfect Match. There's a few variants on this one. Again, you've got to watch out for griefing, which is always a pain in the jacksy. So for this one, you've got you'll see a bunch of fruit appear on the floor, and whichever one appears on the screen, you've got to memorise where that fruit was on the floor and stand on that fruit. If you stand on the wrong one, you're going to fall to your death. There's one variant where there's a sweeper arm in the middle, which you can bounce up and down on, but you got to be careful because other people will join you to do that. And there's another variant where there's fruit being shot at you, though they can combine both variants. On a good day, this level can be pretty sweet, so we'll stick it up there. After Perfect Match, we have Pipe Dreams. This one, I again have a love-hate relationship, because if you get the right path, which is to go to the left, the middle, and then the left, then you have a quick chance of getting to the finish. But also, you've got to do a little trapeze bit at the end. Though you can also jump off into the pipes to get to the end too. So this, I will stick into I think it's pretty sweet. The same can't be said for Pixel Painters. What a crock of shit. I'm out. This one can be an absolute nightmare if your team are a bunch of idiots, because in this one you've got to match the screen, the pixels on the floor to the art on the screen, and you've got to do like 3 or 4 times. And if your teammates run around like a bunch of idiots or just jump up and down to derail you, then you're screwed, aren't you? The next one is Power Trip. Another one that goes right into I'm out, because this one can be an absolute nightmare for griefers. You've got to get as many tiles on the ground to your colour before time runs out. The person with the most points, well, most matched tiles to their colour is the winner. And it's bloody frustrating, because there have been times when you think you're going to win, and all of a sudden the other team just barely skews it and they win. So it's really annoying. Puzzle Path, I've never done this one, and from what I understand, it looks pretty frustrating. A lot of people say it's pretty bad, but I'm going to say it's a C tier. That was good, psych. But that's just my ignorance, because I've never actually done it. Rock and Roll. This one is a fun team level, as long as your team knows what they're doing and gets it through the obstacles. Because I've seen a video where a streamer was trying to do this level, but one of his teammates was an absolute dick and deliberately stood in front of the ball to sabotage him and make him rage quit. And he did end up rage quitting the game in a fit of anger. But also at the end, the other team are going to try and stop your ball from getting in so they can win. Because of depending on if your team is a bunch of actually proper people and not a bunch of idiots, and those people don't grief too much, then it's alright. Roll off. Roll on. Roll out. Roll off is a final that I used to love, but I fell from grace with it. Because this one, it's really bloody frustrating. Because if in the worst case scenario, you'll have a bloody sweat who has this little cheap tactic where they jump around the outside of the thing to stay alive. And if you don't practice the outside jump, then you're probably going to lose. And every time I see one of those outside jumpers, and there's also griefers in this level, which can be a problem, the chances of you winning have pretty much dried up, so I'm going to put it in, it's alright. I was going to put it in, that was good, psych, but I chose not to because people will probably hate me because it is definitely a really good level. Roll On is an obstacle course one. You've got to get to the end across the rollers, because the rollers go left and right at the first half, and at the end there's 2 rollers going forward and backward. And there are gaps, so don't fall down the gaps or you'll end up respawning. And if you can't get to the end before everyone else does, it's over. I think it's pretty sweet. I'll put you right there. Rollout is really easy. Even when you have the version with these cannons shooting at you, the chances of you getting eliminated on this one are slim to none. Unless you get griefed or make an oopsie. So this is alright as well. What is not alright is Royal Fumble. Ugh. Why is Royal Fumble so bad? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it is bloody frustrating how there's one tail, and as soon as you get the tail, everyone's going to come running after you, and everyone griefs, so you might end up getting caught in the crossfire by mistake. And I've only won this like 6 or 8 times. Another thing about it, which can be annoying, That's all there is really. It's not a good level. It took me like 100 odd tries to finally finish it. Seesaw. Do I even need to argue why I put it in this tier? This level's annoying. Because in this level, you either going to make it at the end, or you're going to run out of time, or everyone's going to get there to the end. Because in this one, if everyone clambers ahead, just rushing ahead, then the whole seesaw's going to tip, and it takes bloody ages for it to get back to a good position where you can get back on. And they just jump like lemmings, just like boing, 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 and it keeps getting stuck in a too steep position and you keep sliding down. I don't know if there's an unfair version, well, an Extreme Solos version of it, or Extreme Teams version. If there is, that is sick. That is absolutely sick. The next one is Short Circuit. Short Circuit is... I think this one is alright too. The thing with this one that makes me a bit annoyed is whenever, there's been times where people have... What they do is, they do it a lot, is, there's one section of the track, basically you've got to complete 2 laps of this level to qualify. There's one area where there's, these anti-gravity things, and they deliberately press the buttons so they're all pink, so you have, like, extremely heavy gravity, so you're weighed down. Well, all I want to do is have a blue thing so I can just leap across and get the next area in a jiffy, not just wait for the gates to come back down. Skiffle is going straight up into the bomb. This is a really fun level, and there's a whole event dedicated to it called Skiffle High Scorers. If you are the goat at Skiffle, you can just dive through all the rings, lickety split, then you have a high chance of qualifying and winning. So I love this level. It's one of my personal favourites. The next one is Skyline Stumble, and this one is another one that I think is very sweet. There's not really much to say about it. It's an obstacle course level, so you've got to watch out for those swinging lightsabers. And the tricky bit is probably the end with the flippers, because again, you do not hug the wall. You've got to stand like a few paces away from the wall, because it'll give you more momentum to fling you into the air. So a pretty fun level. The Slime Scraper and Slime Climb. Both very similar levels, though one of them I prefer more. I think Slime Climb is definitely the bomb. In this level, you've got to get to the top while dodging a bunch of obstacles like flippers, rolling balls, wrecking balls, MC hammers, and other things. But it is slippery, so you've got to be careful you don't slip near the end and fall to your death. Slime Scraper has its own level, own event dedicated to it, called Slime Scraper Time. And the only reason it's not in S tier is because it's much more annoying on this level, where there's one where there's treadmills, and you've got to jump across, and the problem is, people might grief you. One time, there was this one person who was just sitting there waiting for me. Every time I got there, he griefed me and made me fall, so I reported him for griefing and bad sportsmanship. I tried again, and he griefed me one more time, I would rage quit. And guess what? He still griefed me and I rage quit. So that's why it's not perfect. And the one problem about both levels is the idiots who get to the top and they just stall for time, waiting for the bloody slime to get nearly the end. And I'm there like, dude, there's other people who want to play the game. We don't have all day. Snowball Survival. It's alright. There's 3 variants on Snowball Survival. You have the version where there's no gap in the middle, and the only place you can get knocked out is by the snowballs flinging you to the edges. Which is basically what the edge of the giant snowflake looks like. The other variant is when there's a gap in the middle and there's the edges you've got to watch out for. And then there's the unfair version where there's like multiple little gaps you can fall down. And the worst case scenario is you have 2 snowballs being rolled around. Sometimes even 3. Because that makes it even more difficult to watch out. Snowy Scrap. That was good. Psych. This one is another forgettable one. It's very similar to most point levels, like Penguin Pool Party, or it's more reminiscent to Rock and Roll. In this one, you've got to collect as much snow with your ball to qualify, and again, the top 2 teams will qualify, and the 3rd place has to hit the road. They don't get a spot. Next is what's it? It's something to do with space, I think. Let's see, what's it called? Let me Google. Fall Guys Space Race? Space Race. So Space Race is a fun obstacle course level, and I'm going to give this one. I'm putting it in pretty sweet because it's a really, really fun level, and in the time attack event, I can definitely get a good run on it. All I've got to do, there's a few paths you can take, by the way. All you got to do is just get to the end before everyone else. Next up we have, I think it's called Speed Circuit, I think. Yes. I think it's called Speed Circuit, I could be wrong, but this one is also pretty sweet. In this one, like Short Circuit, you've got to complete 2 laps of the level. So 2 laps of the level, and you are going to be the winner. But you've got to watch out for the gates and some other obstacles like jelly donuts, which will stagger you and make you end up running out of momentum and probably losing. Because I have lost on it a few times, which made me angry, but I have won a few times too. Speed Slider absolutely goes into the bomb. This one is so much fun, and if you know how to cut off time, then there's a few shortcuts you can take. Like one bit, you can jump across over the guardrail and slide down, and it shaves off a lot of time. It gets you down there in 1st or 2nd place if you're lucky. Star Chart. This one, I'm just going to say, that was good. Psych. The only reason I'm saying that is because it can be pretty frustrating to find which path is the right path, because you press the button, you've got to look at the map in front of you to see which path is correct, because if you don't get the correct path, you're going to fall off and respawn. And if you don't get the right path in the time limit, you're eliminated because you can't reach the end. Now I've got an unpopular opinion. Stomping Ground absolutely goes into the bomb. This is one of my favourite survival levels. In this one, you've got to survive either 1 or 3 rhinos. I think there's being versions where there's 2, and not let them fling you off the map. I always call the rhinos Margaret, because basically, because this level also reminds me of the time a streamer, he had this level, and someone donated a really loud version of Paul McCartney's Live and Let Die, and right as the rhino sent him flying, it was perfectly timed to when the music just went boom, and he angrily slammed his controller in a fit of anger. It was pretty funny. Some Fruit is alright. In this one, it's very similar to Perfect Match, but in this version, you have to counter how many fruit there are. Like there'll be the first level there'll be 2 fruit, and you've got to get on the tile for how many count how many fruit there are and get on the correct tile to which matches to how many the number is. And they'll add more. It'll do it 3 times, and they'll add more fruit in as it goes, along with other objects. Sometimes, if you're unlucky, then some of the objects won't end up making it in, I don't think. And sometimes the number of fruit will end up being 0 sometimes. So you gotta figure out which fruit didn't show up. How many of there was there none of? And that one can be quite fun. Problem is, you might get griefed as well. So griefing is always a factor in this. Tail tag and team tail tag. Tail tag is definitely one that I think is the bomb. It's a lot of fun compared to Royal Fumble. Because in this one there's multiple tails and it's a lot of fun to chase people. Sometimes they can be quite slippery people to try and grab. But if you know how to anticipate their moves, then you can probably get them. Team tail tag. That was good. Psych. This is just an unmemorable team level. So in this one, the top 2 teams qualify, I think, or is it top 3? Because there's 4 teams this time. There's red, yellow, green, and blue. And the team that has the most tails will qualify. Pretty much like all team levels. The Swiveler. I think this one is pretty sweet. The reason I like this one a lot is because it's a fun little obstacle course that goes around in circles, and there's 3 variants. There's an easy version where there's 3 single arm hurdles. There's 2 sweeper arms and 2 MC hammers. There's a version with a double sweeper, well, a double hurdle, and 3 hammers. One of them facing vertically like the other 2, but it's going in a different direction. And there's an unfair version where there's 2 double hurdles, a hammer on the actual spinny thing, which is going round and around, which makes it a bit trickier, and you can get griefed again. So another one where griefing can be a problem. The Whirligig. I think this one is pretty sweet. The Whirligig is another obstacle course, and griefing is a little bit of a problem, but not too much of a problem. So I definitely can get behind this level. This level's not too bad. But the one thing I never understand is how you get past that really fast fan, which is spinning around at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. I've done it before, but it's really hard to time it, because you end up getting knocked off and respawning. Thin Ice. Oh boy. Of all the Hexagon levels, this is my least favourite. I'm going to say that was good, Psych. Just because I have won it. It's not completely unfair, but the griefing can be absolutely annoying on this one. I have a clip, if I can put it on my stream real quick. Back when I used my face camera a lot. Zay the Kid, one of the people who was one of my followers, he clipped this moment here, which I'll show you quickly, where Sully griefed me and made me lose. And made me rage quit. So that's one of the reasons I don't play it super high, because it's a bloody frustrating level. And I'm all out of tango now. Tiptoe, I'm also going to put into That Was Good, Psych, because this one, the griefing is probably even worse. Especially at the end, because in this one you've got to find the correct path to get to the end. A worst case scenario is that everyone bunches up like grapes, and when you see the ending, they all just charge ahead, and the chances of you qualifying are really slim. I don't like that level. Tiptoe Final, or Finale, whatever. I've only played it like twice. It's alright, this one. Again, it's a bit tricky to memorise the path, but at the end, it's fun to bounce up to get the crown. That's one of the reasons I like it more, because getting to the crown is such a good reward. Alright, I'll see you later, hopefully, when I come back from my holidays. I'll show you some pictures as well on my Discord when I do. take pictures of London. And also, what am I going to say? This one, Track Attack. This one is going right into the bomb. This one is so much fun. It's an obstacle course level where speed is key. If you go through the speed pads and cut off the corners like a pro, then the chances of you winning are really high. Next one is Treetop Tumble. Pretty sweet, because this one is another obstacle course one. You've got like inflatable frogs. You have Margaret in this level again. You have fans and jelly donuts, I believe. I think this is a pretty fun level, but it's not my favourite obstacle course level. Tundra Run. This one is pretty sweet. It's not the hardest obstacle course, so it can be a bit frustrating at the end, where you've got to use the bounce pads to the launch pads to throw you across. And there's times where you get too much momentum from the fan and get blown into the pit. But it's not too hard once you get the hang of it. Our last two levels are Volleyfall and Wall Guys. Oh boy. I'm going to put this in That Was Good Psych. Because this again, like button bashes, this is really dependent on who your opponent is. If your opponent is a really sweaty person, then the match can drag on for ages, or end in a rage quit because they're too hard to beat. But if you have a noob who you're facing off against, you can absolutely wipe the floor with them and they might leave the game and make you win. And that's always pretty funny. And Wall Guys, I'm putting in the Bomb. This is another favourite level of mine, where teamwork is the dream work, and all you got to do is push the blocks and around to do your parkour skills to get across the walls and reach the finish line. And there you have it. That will be my Fall Guys tier list. So let me zoom out and I'll rank everything as it is. In D tier, I'm out. We have Egg Scramble, Egg Siege, Jinxed, Pixel Painters, Power Trip, and Royal Fumble. In C tier, That Was Good. Psych, we have Fall Ball, Hoarders, Hoopsie Daisy, Puzzle Path, Seesaw, Snowy Scrap, Star Chart, Team Tail Tag, Thin Ice, Tiptoe, and Volleyfall. In B tier, It's Alright. Basketball. Big Shots. Blast Ball. Block Party. Bounce Party. Button Bashers. Freezy Peak. Fruit Shoot. Gate Crash. Hit Parade. Hoop Shoot, Hyperdrive Heroes, Night Fever, Party Promenade, Penguin Pursuit, Rock and Roll, Roll Off, Roll Out, Roll Out, Short Circuit, Snowball Survival, Some Fruit, and Tiptoe Final. In A tier, pretty sweet, we have Airtime, Bean Hill Zone, what's this one called again? Blast Lantis, Bubble Trouble, DoorDash, Fall Mountain, Frantic Factory, Full Tilt, Hexaterrestrial, Hoopsie Legends, Hoverboard Heroes, Jump Showdown, Kraken Slam, Leading Light, Lily Leapers, Penguin Pool Party, Perfect Match, Pipe Dreams, Roll On, Skyline Stumble, The Slime Scraper, Space Race, what's it called? Speed Circuit, I think it's called. The Swiveler, the Whirligig, Treetop Tumble, and Tundra Run. And finally, S tier, the bomb. We have Cosmic Highway, Dizzy Heights, Hexagore and Hexaring, Jump Club, Lost Temple, what's it called? Ski Fall, the Slime Scraper, Speed Slider, Stomping Ground, Tail Tag, Track Attack, and Wall Guys. So I will find out how to, save, that's how. I'm just waiting for it to generate my image. Let's see. I'm going to put it in now. In the Fall Guys Discord. Where do I put it? I'm just asking where should I put this Fall Guys tier list. Alright. Let's get into some Fall Guys now that we've done all that. So, window capture is gone. Let's boot up the game. And I'll change the title as well. So, the title will be called, let's see. Let's update it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's now crown hunting. I love that crown hunting, because I do. So is the game loaded? Yeah, it is. I have to change it from a hat to this. And here we go, some Fall Guys. The Kudos Celebration Challenge. I'm gonna do it. So how many days it last? So that'll be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I have a while to do it. Let's rock and roll. Wait, what are questions, by the way? And yeah, 25 seconds, and more 3 times in create spotlight. Reach the final round in any game. And for Azul, I'll probably change to Hatsune Miku later on. Cosmo Run, I love this one. Remember, it's an automatic lock-in. I'm saying that again. If you touch the slime 3 times, you're locked in. Spend a few minutes doing that in the air. That should be enough. Do a bit of more thing. Rise from your grave. Even though she can't blink, it's fun to make her do little emotion things there. Emotions, emotes. Oh, you're a dick, Sally. Did you see that? I just grease that person in the air and make them fall to their death. Oh my god, that was a dick move right there. That person's probably gonna be really angry. Zero! Who's a good dog? Okay! She's smoking! So let's change to a different skin. I'm gonna be Miku. Because no, I like being a Miku. Where's my Miku? There's my Miku. I'll give a Vanellope celebration. I'm the sound of the future. Now we commence the regular mode. Alright, Miku, let's do this thing. Ow. Oh, we have the boxing gloves here. Ow. Nailed it. Here we go. Whoops. I will probably go to the toilet at some point. Swing with scramble. Oh, for fucking advert. I don't care about all corners and languages.
When there is still
Shut up. Stupid adverts. I hear how it does like sometimes it'll refresh the page and bombard me with adverts. good luck. I don't think I do. Oh my god, look at this! Ah! Fuck this! I can't make it! It's impossible! Anyway, I'm gonna have a quick toilet break and I'll be right back. I really need to go because I'm bursting. So give me one moment, please. I will see you all in a second. I have returned! Let's finish off some more Fall Guys. We'll change to a different skin. My old friend Lily, I think, will be next. Because you know, like this cute little purple bat. She's my favourite of all the skins I have. I'm an airtime ace. I have the Vaporwave background. Just because it's purple. Like lately. The Egg Temple. I've done this one before. It's a points level. So That means you're allowed. That means you're allowed to drink as many times as you like. I think there's a bottomless pit I've got to watch out for too. And those big orange balls. Don't know if you can actually make it over there before that thing falls. So easy. Through. Going around, going around. What goes around comes around. That's what they all say. And then... run! Dr. Pepper. Oh! Got all over my face. Do not take that out of context, you heathens. Scrapyard race. This is the points level. This is a Fall Mountain style level. I'm gonna go down the middle this time. Boing. Go on, Lily! Oh, Lily's on fire today. Rumble Bumble of the Jungle. I know it's not George of the Jungle, but it'll do. And it is an automatic locking, so do not touch the slime. All the water below. Ow! I'm probably gonna get a lock-in because I've just made one mistake. Fuck this! It's impossible! Okay. I'll be joined next. Laugh. Hilarious hijinks, where is it? More memories? Wasser. So that means water. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 1 crown and I'm going to call it, I think. So 1 crown and I'm going to end stream. Just because I'm going to be really busy tomorrow. Of course, my trip to London and everything. Wait, what? Because that's what I was meant to do! I must have overshot it. Yeah, we'll get 1 crown, then we'll call it. That's what I'm going to do. Construction site. I've done this one a few times. Ooh, I'm so ready for this. Jackhammers. Not too hard to get past this. Give me time. No way for that. Watch out for that. Through! How many points do I have left to get a crown? 20 points left. I can do it. Kraken! The Kraken! Release the Kraken! So, 3 levels left to win, and I'm gonna go call it. Adventure the Forest. to dust. So 2 left and then we'll go call it, I think. Going along, going along, going along, going along. I've done this one a few times, I think. Yeah, I have. Yes, it's an automatic locking if I hit the slime 3 times. It's not too hard, as long as you know what to do. Don't care about your stupid antivirus thing. Hey, Mr. Blue Squid. We haven't got long on the stream today, just because I have to get ready to go to London tomorrow, so I'm probably going to be wrapping up real soon. But at least you've made it to the end, though. So, automatic locking if I touch the drink 3 times. Oh, look at this. I made it! What? I made that?! It's just a few mins. But I'm not sure how long that would be. Huh? Fuck this level, it's terrible. So I'm going to do one more level. Yeah, one more level, then we'll call it. So let's make it a good one. Some kudos for me. Sorry about the ads, mate. Let's be Digi just for this one time. Digi's best being. So I'll give her the where is it? Crown Crafts. Best being title. Expert Planner. One more game coming right up. hello, Jujuba. Hello to you too. Can you not steal my points, you little slink? I'll just get you a new one. I got none that time. Yeah, you're right. But that'll be it. And we'll leave it there. See, the reason I'm calling it early is just because, like I said, I'm going to be really busy tomorrow, so I've got to get up early to get the train out of my town to get to London. I'll be back on Friday with Repo with my friend Luxikara and that. So yeah. Massive thank you to everyone who joined me for the tier list section. Thank you very, very much for everyone who joined me in the stream regardless. I'm going to raid Cake Fishing. So first I've got to is how you spell her name? Cake Fishing. Let's try to see if it works. Thank you very much for the bon voyage. And I will see you all when I come home on Friday. Take care.